Damn, this comment section is full of Ringo supporters, right? That's crazy. Is Ringo making these fake accounts? I mean, you got white boys, you got black profile pictures. You know, all of these people in here come from his channel. That is crazy. That is insane. Hold on, man. Let me check the audio real quick before I start going in. Let me check the audio real quick. This looks real funny. This looks real funny. All right, man. Everything is all good. Let's dive into the conversation. My thing is this: I'm not making this a racial issue. You know what I'm saying? Um, you can listen to other people, but don't come over here applying that stuff to me. Listen to what I say very carefully. You know, I don't agree with Ringo and I don't agree with some of these FBA people. I stand alone. And when you talk about black on black violence, you know what happens with black on black violence? Usually there's some retaliation or they go to prison. Either there's going to be street justice or the person goes to prison. So accountability will knock at their front door. That's the thing. Now, people in the FBA community get mad at me for the things that I say about black people, and I'm just holding our people accountable. The thing is this: Ringo haven't made no Chud the Builder videos, no Jake Lang videos, no Case and Allison videos. See, Ringo is a type of coward that only talks about his people. When do you guys ever see Ringo holding white people accountable? See, I don't care that he holds black people accountable. I do it. You know how many videos I got calling out gang culture in the black community? You know how many videos I got calling out, black women for being feminists? You know how many videos I make about my own people that's off code or the criminals and what they do to one another? I got several videos like that. So you can't come over here saying that Red never holds his people accountable. Now let's talk about Ringo. Show me the videos of Ringo holding white people accountable for the crimes they commit. Show me the videos. Do you know that white T men lead in sex crimes? Nobody commits more sex crimes than a white T men. Does Ringo talk about that? Absolutely not. Did white people march when the white guy unalived Charlie Kirk? Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Show me the white T people marching when white people unalive each other. You know, the biggest threat to a white man is a white man, another white man, not a black person. Then you say, why would Charlie Kirk spend most of his time talking about black on black violence while ignoring the physical threat that was coming from his own people? Who unalived Charlie Kirk? A white T man. If Charlie Kirk spent more time focused on the danger that was lurking in his own backyard, maybe he would still be living today. But I asked Ringo, where's the Chud the Builder videos, right? Do you guys know a white supremacist in Georgia shot up a black family reunion and Ringo had nothing to say? Matter of fact, I'm going to show the video right now. If this was a black man, listen, just imagine if a black man shot up a white family gathering. Ringo would have made several videos about that, and I think we know. I think we already know this. I'm going to show y'all that. Before we get into that, I'm going to show y'all this. I'm going to show you how full of crap. See, who cares that Ringo talks about black people? Everybody talks about black people. That's not a problem. But let me show you what Ringo won't talk about.
A Lee County family is speaking.
If Ringo truly cared about humanity and accountability, surely he would have made content about this white supremacist who shot up a black family gathering in Georgia last month.
Out recall. A Lee County family is speaking out, recalling the terrifying moments when they say a man armed with an AR-style rifle opened fire on their family reunion. And thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Greg Lloyd.
And I'm Carla Heat Sands.
Now, that shooting happened Sunday evening on Autumn Leaf Drive in Leesburg. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer shot at partygoers after a verbal altercation occurred. No one in the family was reportedly injured, and Kinzer was shot after a family member returned fire.
He was charged with aggravated assault. WALB News 10's Mariah Norman sits down with a witness who says their family was racially targeted.
This family says they were celebrating a birthday and spending time together before a man they identify as a neighbor pulled up and opened fire with an AR-style rifle. Witnesses say the family was gathered outside for a reunion Sunday night when a car drove by. A white man who witnesses say was Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer was inside the car yelling racial slurs at the group.
And he's talking junk and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
But Green says Kinzer came back, this time wearing armor and carrying a rifle.
And then that's when everybody started running. He got a gun. All the kids, they were making sure the kids get in the house. And people started taking positions because they seen he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street. That's when he raised it and fired. Boom. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him.
Green says he's a Marine veteran. He says he was willing to defend his family, including children and older adults who were present.
It was so hurtful. I cried all night. I'm laying outside on the ground through a shootout under a car with my other auntie, my other sister, who is 77, and I'm 62.
The investigation is ongoing. Officials say more charges are expected to come. This family says they are just grateful to be alive. Reporting in Lee County, Mariah Norman, WALB.
So let's talk about this. This guy shoots up a black family gathering while yelling out racial slurs, right? Anytime you leave and come back, that's premeditated. It means that you planned it. So for one, it was premeditated. For two, it was a hate crime because he yelled out racial slurs as he shot into the crowd of black people. And he gets charged with aggravated assault, not attempt murder. Now just imagine a black man doing a drive-by on a group of white people at a white family gathering. You think he's going to get charged with aggravated assault? You think his bail is only going to be $5,000? So if Ringo really gave a damn about humanity and accountability, surely he would have covered this story. But Ringo's a coward who never holds white tea people accountable for anything. See, you can't come over here with that nonsense with me. Oh, how come you ain't talking about Chicago? You know how many live streams I did about the mass shootings in Chicago? You know how many live streams I did about the gang violence in my city of Los Angeles? You know how many videos I've done about degenerate rap culture and how it influences black children to do negative things? So you can't come over here and say that Red doesn't hold his people accountable, but we can say that Ringo never holds white tea people accountable for anything. Ringo, where's the Chud the Builder videos? Chud the Builder is a stone cold racist, a stone cold white supremacist, yet no videos from Ringo. Jake Lane is a stone cold white supremacist. No videos from Ringo. He has nothing to say. This story right here, Ringo has nothing to say. So Ringo is a coward who only wants to talk about black people while ignoring the violent crimes that white people commit. Ringo's a coward. I think I proved my point. Hit the like button. He said nothing about this. Well, what about black on black crime? I'll talk about that too when it's necessary. Let's get into this. The sexy ladies right there. The sexy, lovely ladies.
Need to be arrested.
How you gonna say he hasn't heard about it? Anytime a black person commits a crime, he hears about it. Oh, but when white people commit violent crimes, he's gonna make it seem like I never heard about it. Ringo never made no videos about Casey Allison, the white kid who unalived another student in Texas. Casey Allison, the white boy, took a knife to school and stabbed somebody multiple times. Yet there's no videos by Ringo talking about how the white community felt Casey Allison. Ringo made no videos. See, I'm not tripping about him saying the things that he says about black people. I'm tripping because he never holds white people accountable on the same level. He pretends like he never heard of the story.
As we come into the building, be sure to hit that like button one time.
If you a black man that cares about black people, how you gonna sit up there and ignore a white supremacist who shoots up a black family gathering? You a black man and you have nothing to say? But every chance you get, you want to make videos about violent black criminals, but no videos about the violent white criminals? Ringo's a coward, just like his fans, just like his supporters.
I'll do a quick video, and I gotta head back on the road. I want to talk about the families of Nolan Wells, Carmelo Anthony. I feel that these two families need to be arrested. I don't like neither of these people because what's happening in America, guys, and see, this is why you don't see me being a part of this rage bait era of manipulating the viewers in hopes to create a race war. I'm glad that I'm not a racist like the majority of black people that's in America.
Who's more racist than white people in America, Ringo? Who has a longer track record of being racist in this country? White tea people or black folks? Black people ain't never made no laws to oppress white folks in this country, but white people have made laws to oppress us. So this dude is an idiot. I want to listen. I'm gonna ask you guys a real question, and I'm looking for an honest answer. Who has a longer track record of being racist in this country? Black folks or white tea people? Who's created laws to oppress people in this country? Black people or white tea people? Let's be honest here. But according to Ringo, he can't stand racist black people, but he has nothing to say about the racist white people who has created laws to oppress other races and other groups in this country. Nah, he ain't got no smoke for that. Nothing to say. But black people are the racists, but nothing to say about the racist white people who create laws to oppress others.
Stuff is sick, man. All you seeing down your timelines.
You can't name a time or era in this country where black people have created laws to oppress any other groups or another race. But we can name a time and era where white people have created laws to oppress black people and other groups. That's the major difference.
Nolan Wells. Fuck Nolan Wells, bro. I am just sick, man. All you seeing down your timelines. Nolan Wells. Fuck Nolan Wells, bro. I am tired of hearing people talking about Nolan Wells, accusing people. We don't got no proof of nothing. Everybody's accusing this. You know, they spreading rumors saying that, oh, his friend stole his phone. That's a damn lie.
White people keep saying that OJ was guilty and OJ was found not guilty. He was acquitted. Did Ringo have anything to say about that? Do you know that white tea people are still pissed off about OJ Simpson, and OJ Simpson was found not guilty? And white people are still pissed off about that. But Ringo has nothing to say about the racist white tea people in this country. He has nothing to say. He's a certified coward, just like his followers, just like his subscribers.
The friend had the phone because Nolan left the phone behind. If a friend, let's just say hypothetically speaking, one of the white boys that was his friend that had his phone. Let's say he killed him, right? Why would you keep the man's phone if you killed him? How stupid could you be?
You know, Emmett Till, the white tee people who unalive 14-year-old Emmett Till were never brought to justice, never held accountable. The white tee people who burned down Black Wall Street were never held accountable. The white tee people who burned down Wilmington, North Carolina, Elaine, they were never held accountable. And the list goes on. Nobody has committed crimes in this country and gotten away with it like the white tee man. Nobody has gotten away with more hate crimes in this country than the white tee man. But you don't see Ringo and none of his followers holding white tee people accountable for the violent crimes they commit because they're cowards, just like their leader, Ringo.
You ain't gonna keep the phone, you're gonna get rid of it. There was a recent story that happened with another white boy that was arrested because of another drowning of a Black dude. It's funny how they trying to put all these stories out at the same time to create a race war. Now, if you're an intelligent, civilized human being, you ain't gonna fall for the nonsense. But when it comes to this case, man,
FBA, I need y'all to get up in here and bless the like button. This is definitely worth supporting. Get up here and bless that like button and quit playing. None of those white tee people, guess what? Tulsa, Oklahoma, the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma was sanctioned by the government, which is why white tee people were never held accountable. Because if the government, holding white tee people accountable, they would have to hold themselves accountable because they gave the okay. They sanctioned the terrorist attack on Tulsa, Oklahoma. The government okayed it. Several Black communities across the country were burned down by jealous white people because they feared our progress. White people hated Black people in this country way before there was a such thing as thug culture. Go back to the early 1900s. There was no such thing as hip hop music or thug culture or ghetto ratchet culture, and white people still hated you. So when the white people try to use the excuse that they hate Black people because it is, they're gaslighting you. It's a bold-faced lie. White people hated Black folks when they were docile church. White people in this country hated Black folks when they were docile church-going people. Yeah, I said it's the truth. So white people don't need an excuse to hate you. They hate you just because they hate you for being Black. And if you don't believe me, study the history of this country. Dylan Roof, a white boy, walked into a church in Charleston, South Carolina, and unalived 10 innocent Black people who were just praying to God. They wasn't bothering anybody. These Black people wasn't criminals. They wasn't thugs. They were honest, hardworking church people who prayed to God on Sunday. This white supremacist by the name of Dylan Roof walked into the church because those Black people welcomed him. Black people welcomed him in the church, and he whips out a gun and unalives 10 innocent Black people. You know why he said he did it? He said it was his job to eliminate as many Black people as possible. That's how evil Dylan Roof is. And guess what? Dylan Roof is no lone wolf. Dylan Roof is a white supremacist. See, when white men commit crimes, they try to isolate them and say that he's a lone wolf, when we know a lot of these white men come from white supremacist groups. It's a known fact that Dylan Roof was a white supremacist. Now, Ringo is from New York. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo in 2023, 3 years ago. A white tee supremacist, a self-proclaimed white tee supremacist in Buffalo, New York, 2023, walks in a top grocery store, unalives 10 innocent Black people. You know why he did it? He said he's a white supremacist and he wanted to eliminate as many Black people as possible. Ringo ain't made no videos about that white supremacist in Buffalo, New York. He ain't make no videos about that. See, my thing is this: make videos holding Black people accountable. But when you don't make videos holding white criminals accountable, violent white criminals accountable, it shows everybody how much of a coward you are. Point the finger at Black people while ignoring the violent crimes that white men commit. Instead of Ringo holding that white man accountable that unalived Charlie Kirk, he started to talk about the Black community when Black people had nothing to do with the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. This coward said nothing about violent white criminals. And if Charlie Kirk was focused on violent white criminals instead of talking about Black people all day, maybe Charlie Kirk would have seen the danger that was lurking in his own backyard. But no, he didn't. Charlie Kirk was too busy focused on Black crime when we already know Charlie Kirk don't even live around Black people. Charlie Kirk did not live around ghetto. Charlie Kirk did not live around ghetto, violent black people. So Charlie Kirk spent a whole lot of time talking about something that doesn't affect him personally.
It's difficult to reach people because most people are just stupid, y'all. Like, for real. I can understand you got a lot of YouTubers, they just want to make money, but these people don't care, bro. They just lie to y'all every day, and I'm tired of telling y'all about these lies, because when I speak about this, what Negroes always do is they always say, oh, you're a sellout. No, fuck you. You understand? I'm out here doing my best trying to wake people up, and y'all like being stupid. Y'all sitting around watching a bunch of videos about Nolan. I keep telling you, fuck him, bro. Real spit. The family is asking for $700,000, y'all. When y'all gonna?
He's not gonna make videos about Tyler Robinson. He's not gonna make videos calling out violent right. He's not gonna make videos calling out violent white criminals. He only makes videos about black criminals. So he's not gonna talk about that. He loved Charlie Kirk so much, but he won't talk about the man that unalived him.
Wake up and recognize the hustle. When y'all gonna recognize it, dog? Carmelo Anthony family got $700,000 from y'all. Now you got Nolan Wells family saying we want $700,000 too. Y'all some dumbasses, bro. These people are hustling, y'all. Y'all can't see it, bro. They hustling, man. I'm speaking real talk, bro. They hustling.
I just gave you examples of how white supremacists have created. Listen, I showed you. This is how dumb these cowards are. I just showed you a video of something that happened last month. You said it's 2026. Well, I showed you what a white supremacist did last month. He shot up a black family gathering while yelling out racial slurs, and Ringo didn't make no videos about that, right?
They got Ben Crump on TV. They doing protests in Mississippi. They out here doing too much, man. There's too much going on. They trying to stir up hate, bro. And too many black folk can't see the hustle. Y'all so emotionally invested in this BS. Y'all can't see a play been ran on y'all, man. Let's always remember one thing, dog. Nolan's friends was white. So he chose to have these friends. But what I'm realizing is there's nothing but accusations. There's no proof. They just keep trying to accuse people so that we can be angry for no apparent reason. Half of you ninjas don't even give a fuck about your own family, yet you acting like you care about Nolan Wells, man. You're a fucking hypocrite, dog.
You don't know what people do for their family, you dummy. How you know what every black person does for their family, you idiot? There's dudes who get out of prison and their family members let them stay with them. There's dudes who go to prison and their family members send them money. What are you talking about, dummy? You don't know what black people do for their family, you idiot.
I cannot stand fake ass people, bro. A lot of y'all are fake, bro. Y'all be online acting like y'all protesting, like y'all so damn angry because of what's going on, and your family be asking you for food. You can't even give them that, dog. Your family asks you for a favor. Hey, yo, bro, man, you can hook a brother up.
1 minute you telling black people to stop begging. Now you claiming that black people don't help their family members. Just shut up, Ringo. You don't know what black people do for their families. These are weak ass talking points. Shut up. I don't know what you do for your family. Just like you don't know what other black people do for theirs. So just shut up.
Bro, I don't got it. But you online going crazy over this Nolan Wells stuff like this is damn Jesus Christ and whatnot. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all were just singing Carmelo Anthony's praises. Now y'all jump off his DICK, and now y'all all on this Nolan Wells situation. Like, y'all don't get it, bro. People are just fake, bro. All these fake outrages, fake selective outrage. Everybody acting like they angry. Everybody acting like they want justice and all this other stuff. How you gonna want justice and want this and want that, and there's no suspects? It's no suspects. You don't got no witnesses. You don't got no video proof. You don't got nothing. You just got hate in your heart. You want somebody that's white to go to jail. That's what you want, bro. This is why they mad at me, because I speak the truth raw and uncut, and they keep getting mad at me for no reason.
You don't speak the truth. You don't call out violent white criminals. You say nothing about white supremacists. So no, you're not speaking the truth. You're telling half truths, but you won't speak about the violent criminals on the white T side. White T men lead in sex crimes. I'm gonna say it again, Ringo. White T men lead in sex crimes. I don't see the white community marching and protesting about that. I don't see you making videos exposing that.
Because I'm speaking real, bro. Go look at it, GoFundMe, y'all. They updated the GoFundMe again, bro. They already raised 650,000. They said they want over 740,000. For what, dog? For
white T people raise money all the time for whatever they want the money for. And you don't make no videos calling out the white T people who raise millions on top of millions of dollars. Listen, they raised $1 million for Shiloh Hendricks. You know the white woman that called that black child an N-word? They raised $1 million for her. And all she's known for is calling a black child an N-word. At least Nolan family, they're victims. They're victims of a crime. They lost their son. What did Shiloh Hendricks lose? Absolutely nothing. She got paid $1 million just for calling a child the N-word. And of course, Ringo had nothing to say about racist white people who gave her money. Did Ringo say anything about it? Absolutely not. But he wants to talk about the money that black people get. They raised $1 million or maybe even more for Daniel Penny. Did Ringo have a problem with those white T people giving him money? Absolutely not. Ringo, you a coward. Shut up.
What? They hustling you, man. Yo, man. I'm tired of trying to help black folk, bro. It's like there's no helping you guys, man. No matter how much fucking work I do.
Nobody wants your help, Ringo. Nobody in the black community wants your help. You a sucker. Nobody's asking Ringo for help. Stop it.
No matter how much I put out this truth, y'all stay dumbed down, stupid, dumbed down, and docile like a damn clown, just believe in any type of nonsense. Y'all jump on every damn bandwagon. You don't support nobody that's speaking the truth, but you busy sending money to a damn ninja you don't even know. You worshiping his death like he died for your sins. Fuck Nolan.
You had no problem when white T people sent Shiloh Hendricks $1 million, and all she did was call a child a racial slur. And of course, you made no videos calling out racist white people for giving her $1 million. You had nothing to say about that. Shut up.
Nonsense. Y'all jump on every damn bandwagon, man. I'm tired of trying to help black folk, bro. It's like there's no helping you guys, man. No matter how much fucking work I do, no matter how much I put out this truth, y'all stay dumbed down, stupid, dumbed down, and docile like a damn clown, just believe in any type of nonsense. Y'all jump on every damn bandwagon. You don't support nobody that's speaking the truth, but you busy sending money to a damn ninja you don't even know. You worshiping his death like he died for your sins. Fuck Nolan Wells, bro. Straight up, bro. And I don't care. And if you don't like it, you can unfollow. I don't care, bro. Because
why would you support a black man saying F a black teenager who died, and we're still trying to find out who unalived him, or just what happened to him in general? Why would you say F a teenager that's done nothing to you? You got to be a sick individual to say F a teenager who died. And you talk about somebody being a coward. I've never said F Charlie Kirk. Even though I didn't like him, I never made videos saying F Charlie Kirk. So why would you make videos saying F Nolan Wells? Nolan Wells haven't done anything to you. You a 50-year-old man saying F a black teenager who just passed away. You are truly pathetic and evil, Ringo. You're a pathetic individual. You're pathetic. You're evil. I would never fix my mouth to say F a teenager who passed away that's done absolutely nothing to me.
y'all fake. Listen, half of y'all family contact you for help, and they're living. You got family members that are alive that contact you for help and support.
You don't know what people family members are doing. You're just making up stuff to have content, you idiot. Your family members act. You don't know what people family members are asking them. Shut up, you dummy.
Support. And you don't even support them, and they living. This ninja is dead, and y'all out here acting like he done died for your sins. Y'all acting like he your family member. You're acting like he's your blood brother. You're acting like this dude been kidnapped and murdered. This dude was hanging out with these people, bro. He was hanging out with them. Those were his buddies. So whatever happened to him in that situation, I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. I'm not getting emotionally invested in something with a dude who made a choice to pretty much be down with some crew or whatever friends, whatever the hell he doing. I don't care about all that garbage. That has nothing to do with us, bro. So whatever he got himself into, if he lost his life, I don't care about none of that stuff, bro. Like, none of that stuff mean nothing to me, man. And that's the problem. We invest our time and our energy in stuff that don't have nothing to do with us. All this dude's friends was white boys. So why everybody acting like because they white, they must have did something to him? He trusted them to be his friends. Y'all busy blaming people and don't even got no evidence. I don't understand that stuff, bro. It's one thing if you got proof, like they got video of this brother being attacked, kidnapped, or whatever. Y'all acting like the dude was kidnapped. Y'all acting like the dude had guns drawn on him. This dude was a willing participant, hanging with these dudes, hanging out there, most likely messing around with some white women too. And then he get unalive and everybody want to cry now. Come on, man, stop, bro. I don't want to hear none of this garbage, man. Everybody's being fake, bro. Y'all being fake, man. Go help your family and your loved ones that are alive right now.
Ringo, you don't know what people do for their families. You're fake because you made no videos calling out the white supremacists in Georgia who shot up that black family gathering. You said nothing. You made no videos calling out white supremacists like Chud the Builder. If Chud the Builder was a black man doing that to white people, this coward would have made several videos telling everybody how violent and ghetto black people are. Just imagine if Chud the Builder was black doing that to white people, how many videos this coward would have made. If Jake Lane was a black person antagonizing white people like that, just imagine how many videos this coward would have made. So if anybody's fake, it is you, sir. You don't know what people do for their family. Shut your dumb ass up. What we do know is you ain't made no videos about Jake Lane. What we do know is you ain't made no videos about Chud the Builder and how he's a white supremacist and how that's a sickness in our country. That's what we do know. You ain't made no videos about the white supremacists in Georgia who shot up the black family gathering. That's what we do know. We don't have to speculate. You a coward, Ringo.
That asks you to borrow a few dollars, that asks you for grocery money, that asks you to pay their bills. How come y'all ain't helping those folks? You busy out here protesting for a dude you don't even know, and your family need your help, and you won't even save them. Come on, man. You a damn hypocrite, bro. Stop
You
being
see this
fake.
fool? I'm starting to think these trolls are Ringo. How do you know that Chud the Builder is viral? Everybody knows Chud the Builder. So how do you fix your mouth saying that he doesn't know Chud the Builder? When Chud the Builder is viral, it's a mainstream conversation. So for you to fix your mouth to say that he doesn't know Chud the Builder, it proves that you're a coward. I'm starting to believe that this troll in the comment section is Ringo. All of a sudden, Ringo don't know who Chud the Builder is. So that's an excuse for him not talking about Chud the Builder and how much of a racist and a piece of crap Chud is. Ringo said nothing about Chud.
Man, a lot of y'all fake, bro. Y'all being fake out here, man. For real, bro. Stop being fake. You know? You out here acting like, okay, I got to jump on board and ride with Nolan because, you know, he black. That's not the case, bro. It's not because of that. This situation is deeper than that, fam. What I'm looking at here, based on what I'm seeing on social media, is the fact that they are using this stuff to bring about a race war, bro. That's what I'm seeing. A race war is brewing because they busy blaming people with no proof. Oh, his friend stole his phone. Listen, a good friend is going to hold your phone if he realizes you're not around and your phone is left behind. He's going to hold your phone for you. So when you come back, he could give you your phone. But y'all busy saying, oh, bro man stole his phone. They deleted text message. First of all, who the fuck deleted text messages? Did they tell you who? No. And how could his friend delete the text message if he don't got the password to the damn phone, clown? For all you know, the same dude deleted his own text message. Y'all be making up a bunch of damn garbage, and then what y'all do is y'all come to social media and y'all start gossiping and lying, and everybody starts spreading the same garbage, man. I cannot stand ninjas, bro. Always making up a fake story to get clicks and views to earn a few dollars, bro. A lot of y'all fake, man. A bunch of fake folks, bro. Ain't none of y'all talking about Myron Henry. Why nobody's talking about him?
Why you not talking about Chud the Builder? Why you not talking about Jake Lang? Why you not talking about the white supremacists in Georgia that shot up the Black Family Gathering? Why you not talking about that? What we do know is when it comes to black people, the people who unallied him, they're going to prison. Or there might be street justice. When those thugs in Chicago shoot up a city block, usually there's retaliation or they go to prison. So either way, accountability knocks at their door. How come you ain't marching and protesting about those white tea children that get harmed by white men? Do you know that white men lead in sex crimes? Nobody commits more sex crimes than a white tea man. Does Ringo talk about that? Do you see white people marching and protesting about that? Absolutely not. You don't see white people marching and protesting saying protect the children because white tea men commit the most sex crimes. You don't see no white people marching and protesting about that.
Why nobody's talking about Myron Henry, the brother that got shot down by 3 black men? Why y'all not talking about it? Why y'all not raising no money for his family? Did y'all raise $700,000 for Myron's family? Y'all ain't raised shit, bro. And that's the problem. A bunch of damn hypocrites. Whenever it's black on black crime, you don't see no outrage, bro. You don't see us.
White tea people unalive other white tea people all the time. Do you see white tea people marching and protesting about that? No, you don't. You don't see white tea people marching saying protect white children when white men are the perpetrators of the crime. You don't see white tea people marching and protesting about that. They pretend like it's not happening because they don't want to make their people look bad, so they ignore it.
Protesting in Mississippi. You don't see us protesting in Brooklyn. You don't see us protesting in Chicago, in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? We don't see us protesting at all. But anytime something involves a white boy and a black kid, y'all want to do all this civil rights bullshit, bro. I am tired of all that fake rage bait, race hustling, all these damn clowns, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, man. Yo, all them dudes is damn coons, bro. At the end of the day, they're the ones who are destroying us, man. Because they lying to the people, man. They get y'all all emotionally invested, getting y'all angry. Y'all don't even know what y'all angry about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to keep it real, man. What's brewing right now is a race war. A race war is brewing right now. And I'm not going to be a part of that, man. I'm not going to be a part of that history. I'm a family man. And I respect all people. As long as you respect me, I respect you. But I'm not going to be out here being no fucking racist all damn day, being mad. I'm seeing some of y'all on YouTube. Y'all like, look, we can't hang around those people. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. To all you ninjas, right, that are all online saying, oh, we got to teach our children not to hang around white people. Okay, let's do this. Effective immediately, I want all you ninjas to quit your job where you work with white people.
I'm not saying that you can't be cool with white people. Every black person is not saying that. You got bad white people and you got some bad black people. Black people don't even want their children hanging around criminals and thugs who happen to be black. Let me say this again to you, idiot. Black people don't even want their children hanging around criminals who happen to be black. I'm not going to tell you can't hang around black people. I'm not even going to tell you that she can't hang around all white people. What I'm saying is be on the lookout for fake people. Be on the lookout for people who don't have your best interests in mind, whether they be white or black. So I'm not accusing all white people of being racist, just like I'm not accusing all black people of being ghetto and ignorant.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna quit your job? Or are you gonna be a hypocrite? Quit your job. Don't work with them. Because what I'm learning, and watch this, if you white and you watching this live, let me put you on game. Black people are scared of you. You scared. You paranoid.
If black people are so violent towards white people, how are they scared? In one breath, you will say that black people are violent. They harm everybody. In the next breath, you're saying that they scared. Which one is it, dingo?
That's a fact. You are. You know why? Because anytime you hear you talking like, oh, we can't have our children around white people because, you know, anytime our people is around them, it's like something always go wrong with our people. Well, if that's how you feel, right, then stop working for them. Stop looking for those handouts. Stop looking for them to give you that job. Stop looking for, you know, getting into certain colleges because, you know, you can't afford it. So the white man set up programs for the black man to be able to go to college practically for nothing. Let's cut all those programs out too.
Who's scared of the white man? Ringo is too scared to make videos about Chud the Builder. Ringo is too scary to make videos about Jake Lane. Ringo is too scared to make videos about the white supremacists in Georgia that shot up the Black Family Gathering. If anybody's scared, it's you. The person who won't say anything versus the person who will say something who's scared. The person who refuses to say anything. See, he'll talk about violent black criminals all day, but he has nothing to say about violent white criminals ever. Why? Because he's scared. He's a coward.
And you just do your own thing. How about that? You gonna do that?
When you got to make 10 different accounts to troll me, I must live rent free on your mind. I would never make account after account to troll somebody. If you got to make these many accounts to troll me, then I'm very important. I live rent free in your mind. I would never make that many accounts to troll one particular person.
Or you're gonna be a hypocrite. You want the benefits, right? You want the benefits, but you don't want to come down to reality. So we gonna be racist now? Which one is it? Because that's all I'm seeing on social media is a bunch of ninjas being racist. That's why I like being alone, fam. That's why I like just being to myself, man. Because when you're around a bunch of ninjas, bro, they become racist just like the people they claim that hate them. I'm seeing comments, bro. You go to some of these YouTube channels, you hear them in the comments. They're like, yo, the white man is our enemy. The white man is our enemy. So why you work with them, though? And if you're white and you have a business, fam, I'm telling you right now, these black folk, when they look at you, they see you as their enemy. Now, I don't know if that's comfortable with you. I don't know if you feel like you want to have these kind of folks working with you, but I wouldn't want somebody working with me that consider me their enemy. Those are strong, hateful words, especially when nobody ain't do nothing to you, you know? Just because this black dude end up missing and end up dead does not mean we go around and we accuse his friends and say, oh, his friends had something to do with it. For all you know, all these young men was drunk. They were out there just partying, BSing around. It could have been a situation where Nolan fell off the boat at sea. Whatever the case is, he could have been drunk, fell in the water, drowned. He probably got hit by the boat. You never know what happened to this man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not telling us all the details. They're trying to get us angry, bro. That's why I say I don't care about this dude and I don't care about the story, man. Because the whole story to me is a money grab of the parents and everybody else is trying to get rich. Here's the key things you got to peep game on. Why is it that every time it's a black versus white situation, you got this damn coon, Ben Crump, and Al Sharpton always want to come out pointing their big nose up in everybody's business. But anytime it's black on black crime in the hoods of Chicago, the hoods of Brooklyn, the hoods in LA, how come you never see Ben Crump, fam? How come you never see all this civil rights bullshit, bro? Because it's fake, bro. All that stuff is fake. That's why I keep telling you, as a black man, you got to go out there and get yours. You can't be one of these ninjas that's sitting around on social media crying about the white man all day, talking about I'm being oppressed. You sound like a sucker, dude. Like, for real. You got to go out there and make your own way, fam. And stop crying. Stop talking about the white man holding me down. Stop all this stupid nonsense, crying all day like you're being oppressed, like you on a damn plantation somewhere. That stuff is pathetic, fam. And every single day, I see this foolishness on social media. All they doing is rage baiting. That's all they do online, man. And it's like people just keep joining this parade, this gang membership of just being evil and wicked all day, bro. And I'm like, do you folks have an actual life? Like, for the past couple of days, I've been out here doing my thing. You know, right now I'm on the road heading back home, but I was in Florida for a few days, chilling, you know what I'm saying? Just living life, enjoying myself, got away from the world that I was in. And I'm telling you, when I come and I look on social media, all I see is a bunch of damn evil, bro. A bunch of people just being angry. And I'm like, man, I don't got no time for that garbage, bro. I don't got no time for that mess. Y'all too invested in all this BS. They need to put the parents of Carmelo and the parents of Nolan in prison for rage baiting, race hustling, and stirring people up to get them angry so that we can have some sort of race war, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us to riot, y'all. They're trying to get us to go out there and start to riot in the streets. Don't let them put the battery in your back. You know? Don't let them do that. You know? My wife, she had met up with one of her good friends from back in the day in Brooklyn. And I didn't even feel like going. You know what I'm saying? Because I was tired. I just wanted to go home. But we end up meeting with them. I forgot which area in Florida, but we end up meeting with them over there. And basically we had this long conversation. We kind of overstayed our stay and still end up driving back in the nighttime. But we were talking about everything in life, everything about life. And all I can say, fam, is we live in a world where there's diverse groups of people for a reason. It's not so you could be fucking hateful all damn day and being a devil, thinking it's all about you. We have different kind of people in the world so that we can learn different things and benefit from different things. I am tired of all this damn hate, bro. All day, bro, like all night, just hate. Just people.
If Ringo was tired of hate, where's the videos about Chud the Builder and white supremacists like him? If Ringo was tired of hate, he would have made a video about that white supremacist in Georgia who shot up that black family gathering. If he was really fed up with hate, he would have made videos about all of that. Jake Lang, if he was truly fed up with hate, he would make videos about white supremacists who spread nothing but hate in this country. But he's not fed up with hate. He's just fed up with black people. See, he gives a blind eye to the violent white criminals. He says nothing, but he claims to hate racist people. He does not. Ringo does not hate racist people. Ringo hates black people. Because if Ringo had a hatred for racist people, he would have made several videos about Chud the Builder and how we got a lot of racist white men who think just like him. Chud the Builder is no lone wolf. He comes from a white supremacist group. Chud the Builder has a whole lot of backup. Why? Because there's a whole lot of white men who think and behave just like Chud the Builder. But of course, Ringo ain't gonna make no videos exposing that. He's a coward.
Being evil all day. I can't do that, fam. I can't live like that, man. Just being hateful all day. Well, I'm mad with white people. Well, I'm mad with black people. Well, I don't like this group. Well, I don't like that group. Bro.
Do you guys see how many accounts these trolls are making to speak to me? Are you really that obsessed with me to where you will make 20 different accounts to troll me? Am I really that important? Am I really that important to the point to where you're going to make 20 different accounts just to troll me? Man.
When you on your deathbed, when you are in a hospital and you're sick, you don't care who's operating on you. You don't care if they white, black, Russian, Indian. all you want to do is you want to get well. Have you ever noticed anytime somebody's in the hospital and they sick, they don't care about race. All they care about is can the doctor.
Just like white supremacists, when the white supremacists get shot or whatever happens to them, they're not going to say, I don't want this black man operating on me. They're not going to say that, right? Do you know there was a white supremacist in prison, right? He was in a California prison. And I'm not going to get into the one in particular. He was a white supremacist, but he had a black wife. Now imagine a white supremacist with a black wife, and this is a real story. A white supremacist had a black wife. When his Aryan Nazi homeboys found out that he had a black wife, they butchered him and stabbed him up. All because he had a black wife. How did they find out he had a black wife? Somebody told him such and such went to visit him and he had a black wife. His white supremacist homeboys stabbed him up just for having a black wife. And you want to talk about hatred that Ringo never talks about coming from white T men. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. It ain't nothing.
Fucking save me, dog. Can the doctor save me? Nobody's worrying about all that other stuff, fam. So we got to look at who's putting this battery in our back, because we all been affected by this at some point in life. At some point in life, all of you felt some type of way about a different group of people. And you looked at yourself and you was like, damn, I'm not an evil person. I'm not a racist. So why I feel like this? Because somebody put a battery in your back, dog. And you had to remove the battery from your back in order for you to think clear. And then once you started thinking clear, that's when you realize, like, yo, I got to do better, man. You know how many people y'all could be meeting that is different? They have a whole different culture from you. And it could open doors for you, man. There's people that watch me from their different walks of life. I don't know who they are, but they rock with me. They like my content. Now, imagine if I was some damn racist up here, like, yeah, I can't stand white people, and yeah, these white folk, I can't. Fam, I'm gonna lose my entire we call it viewers that are white. Now they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's a hate channel. Oh, this guy, oh, well, I can't stand Indian people. Well, I don't like Russian people. Fam, you ain't gonna be a good content creator, fam. You don't see no television show coming on TV saying, I only want black people watching my show. You don't see nobody doing that, fam. So why do we have this hate for? Where this hate is coming from? It's coming from social media, man. Social media is putting this battery in everybody's back, making everybody angry all day, have everybody focusing on all this race stuff all day. That's all they do on social media, fam. They rage bait you. They get you angry. That's all they do. All this content, all these YouTubers, all they focusing on is rage baiting you, getting you angry, bro. It's sick, fam. Absolutely sick. I got all kinds of people watching me, fam. All kinds. Dominican, Puerto Rican, Panamanian, Cuban. I got all kinds of people watching my show, bro. And they watch because I keep it real, man. I don't got time for all this damn hate, bro. I can't stand it, bro.
If you can't stand hate, where is the video? Where is the videos about the white supremacists in Georgia who shot up that black family gathering while yelling out racial slurs? It don't get no more hateful than that. It don't get no more racist than that. Where's the videos, Ringo? I mean, you claim that you hate people who are racist. No videos about the white supremacists in Georgia who shot up that black family gathering, but you claim to hate people who are racist. You ain't made no videos about that. You a hypocrite and a coward, Ringo.
I go on YouTube.
Just imagine if a black man shot up a white family gathering, this coward would have made several videos, and I think we all know this.
It's 1,000 videos, man. 1,000 videos of nothing but hate. Oh, white people. Oh, this. And I'm like, bro, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop, man? When is the rate going to stop, man? How much money you YouTubers need to make before you realize you created a race war? That's what you're trying to create? A race war? Because that's where I see this thing going. And here's the thing. Once the race war begin, I'm going to tell you right now, black man, black woman, it's going to be a bloodbath. And you're going to be the one that's going to be checking out. I'm telling you right now. Because the war you trying to create, I don't think you ready. Half of y'all don't know what y'all putting yourselves in. You ain't ready for no war. Y'all trying to create a race war with all this hate. And y'all gonna be, especially you dudes that claim you following God. Oh, God is gonna punish your ass, man, for all this rage baiting that you've been doing. All this hustling, trying to stir the people up to get them angry. I don't do that in my videos, fam. And you don't see me in my videos talking about,
Let's get a few supporters, man. Listen, let's get a few supporters, and I'm gonna drop the link. If y'all really rocking with King Supreme, get the supporter. If these Sambos can get support when they make content, how come King Supreme can't get no support when I make content speaking for the people? Make it make sense. Come on.
them white boys, yeah, them white boys killed Nolan, fam. I'm not saying that because I don't got no proof. I don't got no proof that they did anything. So why am I accusing people for? Okay, they were with him, but many people were with him. What about the black people? Think about this, fam. Nolan was not the only black dude that was with them. So what about all the other black dudes? How come nobody's blaming them? How come nobody's blaming all the black guys that were there too? It wasn't just Nolan. What about all the other black dudes that was there? What about them? How come nobody's accusing black people? We just want to accuse the white people? Come on, man. Y'all got to look at this thing for what it is, fam. For real, for real. Y'all got to look at it for what it is. It's called rage bait, race hustling to stimulate a race war. That's what they're trying to do. And it starts with social media. Even the news media is in on it, fam. The news media is a part of it. That's why you can't, don't let people put batteries in your back, fam. Don't let them do that to you, bro. Don't let them get you to the point where you out here committing crimes, being violent. Look at what they did with the Carmelo situation. You had 3 black women that got arrested for beating up a white woman, talking about free Carmelo. What? Free what? He belong in prison. What are you talking about? They tripping, man. Like, everybody bugging out, bro. We busy saying free Carmelo and he's a damn killer? Are you kidding me? Bro. And then because I'm speaking this truth, you got these fake ninjas calling me coon, sellouts. Oh, you are Uncle Tom. Why you putting your people down? All this stupid stuff, bro. I cannot stand ninjas, bro. I can't stand them, bro. They're so full of hate, man. There's no love in their heart, man. None. Just evil all day, bro. Y'all giving y'all money to a family that's robbing you, bro. They need to be put in prison. Carmelo's family, as well as Nolan's family, they need to put them in prison for stealing money, using emotional rage bait, and then hiring these civil rights attorneys. Everybody want to get involved and act like they trying to get justice for black people, but yet the black community is full of death, guns, and violence, and nobody's over there. When have you ever seen Ben Crump in the black community? When have you ever seen him fighting against crime in the black community? You never see these damn animals out there, fam. And that's the thing that irritates me. Every single time it's a situation with a black dude and a white dude, you have this race hustler, Ben Crump, that always want to come in acting like he's giving justice for black people. He's just looking for a check at the end of the day, man. He's looking for a check, man. Anytime you see that damn fool Ben Crump on TV, fam, he's looking for money. He don't care about no black people, bro. It's called race hustling, you know? Anytime there's a story that involves a black kid and a white kid, you see these damn race hustlers coming on TV. Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, acting like they looking for some damn justice. They ain't looking for no justice. They don't care about nobody but some damn money. That's all they care about, man. And I'm tired of them, bro. Because what they're doing is they're trying to enrage black people so that you could be angry. So you could be on social media being angry with people. And then you're on your job. Now you angry with everybody. That's what they're trying to do to us, man.
These trolls come from Ringo channel, y'all. So it shows you what type of people follow him. It's a bunch of racist people that comes from his platform. They come over here to troll me. Now imagine him. He's saying that he's not racist, but it's mighty funny that he attracts a whole bunch of racist non-blacks to his channel. And those same racist people who follow him, they come over here to troll me. So what does that say about you if you got people like that following you, Ringo? What does that say about you? People like that will never follow me. But people like that follow individuals like you because of your anti-black rhetoric. That's why you got all these white supremacists and non-black people who come over here to troll me in defense of you.
I'm trying to sound the alarm so y'all can peep what's going on, because some of y'all gonna get fired on your job. Some of y'all gonna be on your job and you're gonna start to talk about these cases. Other co-workers gonna overhear you talking about it. They're gonna report you to supervision and they're gonna say, oh, so-and-so and so is a racist. And before you know it, your supervisor gonna call you in the office and be like, you're stirring up something on the job. And now other co-workers are gonna be talking about you because it seems as if though you got some sort of issue. You know, they're gonna look at you now as if though you got an issue with co-workers that are white. You're gonna end up fired, dog. I'm telling you, don't get caught up in the politics. This whole Nolan Wells turned into a political issue now. This is a political issue now. This is not about a death of a black kid. They turn this thing into a political issue. They're rage baiting and they're trying to stir up a race war. And all these YouTubers, they're all involved. All of them are fake. If you see any YouTuber stirring the nest, stirring this thing up, they're race hustlers. They're grifters. They're trying to.
All these trolls came from his channel. So what does that say about him if he got people like that following him? These are Ringo supporters. When you attract people like that, it says a lot about your character, bruh. People like that will never follow my channel. People like that follow individuals like you because you got a whole lot of anti-black rhetoric that they co-sign. That's why they follow you in the first place. All these trolls you see in my comment section comes from Ringo's channel. All of them.
Get money. That's all they care about, fam. They don't care about the people. Why that family looking for $700,000? Go bury your damn son, fam. Go bury your son. Go mourn his death. Here's the thing. How could that family be mourning if they in front of cameras doing public speaking and, you know, out there talking and doing and speaking engagements, and you're not mourning the death of your son. You in front of the cameras. You know what I'm saying? They trying to raise $700,000, bro. For what? For what, y'all? And y'all giving them the money. What are you giving them the money for? It don't make no sense, fam. It don't make no sense at all. You got that damn Carmelo's family, a bunch of damn clowns. They raised $700,000. Y'all gave them $700,000 for what? And now y'all giving this other family another $740,000 for what? They're race hustlers, fam. They're hustling the people.
Ringo had nothing to say when Shiloh Hendrix called that child an N-word and white people raised $1 million for her. Did Ringo call white people racist for that? If you give a white woman $1 million for calling a black kid a racial slur, it shows how racist white people really are. Did Ringo have anything to say about that? Absolutely not, because he's a coward. What's the purpose of giving Shiloh Hendrix, a white woman, $1 million for calling a black child an N-word? Well, that proves how racist white people are. If you're willing to give a woman that much money for calling a child a racial slur, it shows how sick and racist the white community actually is. And Ringo has nothing to say about white people raising $1 million for that. He said nothing. But he got a problem with black people. He got a problem with black people getting money. White people raise $1 million for a white supremacist. Ringo ain't got nothing to say about that.
They supposed to go bury their son and keep it moving, bro. They making it a race issue. Y'all can't see? So let me get this straight. So any black kid that died, right? If he have white friends, let's make it a race issue. That's what we gonna do now? So what about all the black on black crime? Why we don't got that same energy, fam? Come on, man. Why we don't have, look, I'm gonna keep sounding the alarm. You got 218 people. Did any of y'all with a show of ones heard about the death? Listen, the death of Myron Henry, a black man who got gunned down by 3 black men in cold blood.
And they're going to prison. The people who unalived him are going to prison. There's going to be street justice and they're going to prison. So what? Justice will be served. They're not coming home. They're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison for what they did to that black man. Shut up, fool. It'd be one thing if they did it and got away with it. No, justice will be served. Accountability came knocking at their doorstep. They'll spend the rest of their lives in they will spend the rest of their lives in prison for what they did to him, fool.
Talking about an innocent man. We're not talking about no thug. We're not talking about no gangster. It was no crime. We're talking about a black man who was sitting down by a store. 3 men jumped out the car with automatic rifles, semi-automatic rifles. They started shooting at some people, shot a couple of them. The black dude seen it. He got up, started running to go around the block. When he went around the block, another gunman came out the car, pointed the gun, blow, shot him. He fell down in between 2 cars, bleeding out. You know what I'm saying? While he bleeding out, the other 2 dudes that had their guns saw him on the floor that he was still alive, pointed their guns at him, blah, 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 took him out. An innocent black man was unalived by 3 ninjas, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody cared, man.
That story, that story never made mainstream headlines. Excuse me. That story didn't make mainstream headlines, and I'm gonna tell you this: they're going to prison for the rest of their lives. They're being held accountable. They're being held accountable. And if they didn't go to prison, there will be some type of street justice, because the same thing that goes on in Chicago. Do you know that most of those drill rappers are dead because people retaliated on them? And a lot of those guys went to prison. So accountability comes knocking at your door when you harm black people as a black person. Either I'm going to prison or there's going to be some type of street justice. Rick Chow is a free man because he unalived Cyrus. There's going to be no street justice, and he's a free man. George Zimmerman, who unalived Trayvon Martin, there's no street justice, and he's not serving time in prison. No accountability. They're not being held accountable. Daniel Penny unalived a crazy man who didn't put his hands on anybody. He was disturbing the peace, but he never put his hands on anybody. White people justified it and raised a couple of $1 million in Daniel Penny's defense. You had nothing to say about it because you were a coward. You only got a problem when black people get money. You only got a problem when black people commit violent crimes. You ain't got a problem when white people commit violent crimes. Prime example. If Ringo gave a damn about the fact that white men commit violent crimes, he would have made content about that white supremacist in Georgia who shot up that black family gathering. But you know what he's going to say? I never heard of that story. I never heard of it. But if it was a black man that shot up a white family gathering, he would have made videos about it. He's a coward, just like his followers, just like his subscribers. He'll talk about black on black crime all day, but never has anything to say about. He never says anything about violent white criminals. He only got smoke for violent black criminals.
Anytime it's black on black crime, you never see nobody outrage about it in the black community. You never see this. Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Ben Crump? Where these people be at? Where they at? Come on now.
Where you at, Ringo? Where's the videos about Chud the Builder? Where you at, Ringo? Where's the videos about Jake Lang? Where you at, Ringo? Where's the videos about the white supremacists in Georgia? Where you at, Ringo? No videos. You ain't got nothing to say. White men lead in sex crimes. Nobody commits more sex crimes than white men in this country. How come you're not talking about that, Ringo? How come the white community ain't protesting about that, Ringo?
This is crazy, dog. This is crazy. And you know what's so crazy about this, fam? Check this out. When I go bring out my updates about Ashley Janae, because I got some updates that's coming down the pipeline, how come Ben Crump didn't speak on the Ashley Janae situation? Where was Al Sharpton?
How come you ain't making videos about the Chud the Builder situation? Nothing to say about white people? Oh, I get it. You refuse to call out violent white criminals, so you have nothing to say. Where you at, Ringo? Ringo is from New York City. He said nothing about that white boy in Buffalo in 2023 who shot up Tops grocery store and unalived 10 innocent black people. Ringo had nothing to say. He didn't make no videos calling out the white supremacists or white people with the white supremacist or white people with the white supremacist mentality. He made no videos about that. And that mass shooting happened in his home state. Ringo is from New York himself, and he said nothing about that story because he's a coward. White supremacist walks into a grocery store in your home state, unalives 10 innocent black people that was minding their business, and this coward right here had nothing to say about it. Nothing.
She end up, listen, check this out. They told us, oh, she was hanging herself in a closet. Then they switched the story. They gave us another story. You know what I mean? They switched it up like 3 times, 3 different narratives. Up to now, I'm waiting for Al Sharpton. Where you at, Al? Hey, yo, Crump, where you at? No talk? None of them came through, fam. None of them came through for her. Anytime you have these so-called civil rights, listen, man, I don't give a fuck about all that shit, bro. Like, I'm telling you straight, some of y'all gonna be mad. I don't care, bro. We in 2026, bro. Grow up. Be a man. Be a woman. And stop all this BS, bro. We our worst enemy, fam. We allow these rage hustlers, these civil rights attorneys, these civil rights so-called leaders, they're nothing but pimps, bro. They're nothing but pimps trying to control us, the people. They the ones keeping us down, bro. Yeah, it's all about money. It's all about money. It never been about liberating no people. It always been about them damn politicians getting all the damn money. That's all they care about is money, bro. They don't care nothing about the damn people, fam. Nothing. We all out here going through stuff. We all deal with issues. Everybody deal with issues. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through the same thing. We all got to pay bills. We all got to pay a car note, rent, mortgage. Ain't nobody is perfect, bro. Everybody going through the same type of stuff, bro. We still got to go to the gas pump to fill up our car and deal with all the bullshit every day. Everybody, no matter what race you are, you still got to fill your damn car up with gas, right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no exceptions at the gas pump. As soon as you come there, the same price for you is the same price for me. Same thing. That's why I can't stand all of this rage bait that I'm seeing every single day, bro. All night, all day, every minute. Rage bait, rage bait. Let's see how we could get the viewers angry and keep the engagement up so they can make all the money. That fam, listen, how much you want to bet, guys? Let's see, what's today? By Saturday, listen, by Saturday, you are going to have that. All right, let me just put it like this, because I don't even know when it's going to happen. That family going to raise $1 million. Mark my words. That family is going.
You said nothing about white people raising $1 million for that racist white woman that called the black child an N-word. You said nothing about racist white people. Their son was a victim of a crime. Something happened to him. And you don't want these people to get money? But a white woman who calls a black kid a racist, a white woman that calls a black child a racial slur, the N-word, white people raised $1 million, and Ringo had nothing to say about that. Nothing.
To raise $1 million. Watch it happen. I give it 3 more days.
Chud the Builder went around antagonizing black people, being racist. White people raised $1 million for him. What did Ringo have to say about that? Absolutely nothing. Chud the Builder's claim to fame is walking around being racist towards black people. White people raise $1 million for a man that's only known for being a racist piece of crap, a racist asshole. That's the only thing that he's known for. And white people raise $1 million for him. So that shows how racist, and hateful white people are. If you're gonna sit up there and raise $1 million for a white woman that called a black child an N-word, you're racist. Every time a white T person harms a black person, white people raise money in that white person's defense. But Ringo got a problem with black people raising 600 or 700,000 for Carmelo. Every time there's a situation to where a white T person harms somebody black, white people raise $1 million for that individual, $1 million plus dollars, and Ringo never has anything to say about that, right? Ringo only has a problem when people raise money for black people. I'm gonna say it again. Ringo only has a problem when people raise money for black folks, but Ringo never has a problem when people raise money for white T people. Shiloh Hendrix got $1 million for calling a child an N-word. Ringo didn't have a problem with that. Daniel Penny unalive the crazy guy, the mentally unstable guy at the subway. Ringo didn't have a problem with that. Ringo only has a problem when money is raised for black people. He never has a problem when money is raised for white T folks. He's a coward.
3 more days, guys. 1 million. 1 million. They're getting rich, man. Shout out to, let me see. Is this Jill? I can't even see the name. Jill, I think it is. Jilly. I'm not sure if it's Jill. Shout out to you for the $20 support. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. They're going to raise $1 million in 3 days, fam. I give them 3 more days, fam.
They raised $1 million for Chud the Builder. You had nothing to say. Huh? They raised $1 million for Shiloh Hendrix. You had nothing to say about that. You ain't got a problem with it. How do black people I'm really convinced that the black people who support him are tethers and white supremacists, because the people who troll me come from his channel and they're white supremacists and tethers. That's exactly what they are. And none of them have real profile pictures, but they come over here to troll me. These trolls that come from his channel, they'll sit up there and make 50 accounts just to troll me. When you a black, listen, any black man that attracts an audience like that, it proves everything that I said about him being a sellout and a Sambo. No black man that stands for anything would ever have a crowd of people like that support them. You would never see white supremacists supporting my platform, but you do see white supremacists who supports Ringo platform, because Ringo spews a lot of anti-black rhetoric, which attracts white supremacists. It makes perfect sense.
3 to 4 days, fam. They're going to be at $1 million, man.
No, man, these are Ringo fans. These are white T people and tethers who are supporters of Ringo. Trust and believe, I studied it. I did my homework already. Any black man that stands for anything would never have they would never have subscribers like that. The only time you get subscribers like that is when you a sellout and a tether like Ringo. No black man that stands for anything would have subscribers or supporters like that.
And it's sad, fam, because this is the new hustle now, fam. You got to rage bait. They're exploiting their son's death, y'all. I'm serious. They're exploiting their son's death, man. For all we know, her son did drugs. For all we know, her son OD'd, bro. OD'd. Come on now. But we want to blame it on somebody that's white. That's what we want to do. We want to do that. Imagine.
Do you guys know that Ringo never made videos about Casey Allison? Casey Allison took a knife to school and stabbed another student to death in the state of Texas. Ringo had nothing to say about it. Now, of course, he's I ain't never heard of the guy. Man, shut up. I ain't never heard of the guy. It's mighty funny when it comes to violent white criminals. Ringo never heard of him. He has nothing to say. But anytime a black person commits a crime, he got everything to say. Nothing to say about the white T violent criminals, huh? You're too busy kissing their behind to say anything about it. We get it.
Think about this, guys. Look at all the effort and the energy that black folk is putting
I
into this
dropped the
situation.
link several times, bro. I dropped the link several times. And if you don't have a real profile pic, I don't take you serious. If you don't have a real profile pic, I'm not talking about a fake profile pic. If you don't have a real profile pic, I'm not taking you serious. I've dropped the link several times.
But when it comes to black on black crime, we don't even care, bro. You got babies dying in the black communities. Babies.
And you got babies in a white community being taken advantage of sexually. White men leading sex crimes in this country. And of course, Ringo has nothing to say about it. You don't see white people marching and protesting about it.
And nobody cares.
Who gets caught with child pornography more than a white teen man? Nobody, like Keith Sweat, baby. Who gets caught with child pornography like the white teen man? Nobody, baby. You can look this up for yourself. White teen men are the kings of child pornography. They're the kings of child porn. But Ringo has nothing to say. There's no outrage from the white community. They're not marching. They're not protesting about it. Have you ever seen a black man shoot up a white church? No, you haven't. But you have seen white men shoot up and bomb black churches. So let's talk about who's really evil. Show me the videos of black men shooting up innocent white people who are going to church. You can't find those videos because it doesn't exist. I can show you videos right now of racist white men who bomb black churches and who have shot up black churches. But of course, Dingo has nothing to say about that because he's a coward.
Yeah, bro. Nobody's doing anything about the babies that are dying in these communities, bro. It's like they just ignore everything.
Do business. What's good, brother?
What's good with you, Red, man?
Pretty good, man. Just chilling. What's your thoughts on everything, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, we can crack on these type of dudes all day, man. But on a serious note, it's like it's just not in them to call it out on all sides. You know what I'm saying? That's what I noticed from black conservatives. I mean, they come across like they really trying to fix the community, but they're really not. They just want to dog out their own people. You know what I'm saying? For a profit, or some of them just doing it because it's just how they are. So with this dude, I mean, even before you started going live, I saw some people in the chat room that was kind of getting at you a little bit. I said, man, y'all people are insane on YouTube, dog. Like, really wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? And for him to say that Nolan Wells' parents need to go to prison, I'm like, no, you need to go to prison for what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just totally malicious, man. Like, how could you say something about a young man that was partying or kicking it with some friends that he trusted, obviously, and then he don't make it back? How could you say things like that? That's some really psychological, self-hatred. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, Red. I mean, maybe you can give me some pointers or something, but
Yeah, he said, Ev Nolan. Nolan ain't did nothing to nobody. Ringo is 50 years old. Why would you make a video saying F a deceased kids? And you claim to be self-righteous.
He's 53, this dude, Ringo. Wow.
He 50. I think he just turned 50. How can a man that old say F a teenager who lost his life? Are you that heartless? Are you that racist? Are you that much of a coward? You gonna say F a teenager who just passed away and his family is still mourning? You a coward, Ringo. Listen, that white supremacist who yelled out racial slurs and shot up that black family gathering, he said nothing. And Ringo claims that he hates racist people. That white man yelled out racial slurs while shooting up a black family gathering. This coward ain't said nothing about it, not one video.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, like, people out there minding their business and some crazy white dude looking like he in some kind of movie or something trying to, shoot it. Like, it's a good thing that one of the brothers had shot back at him and it actually hit him. So it's we go through a lot in this country, man. The black on black violence thing, I mean, that's something that we have to deal with internally, but that's a separate issue from, a lot of other races of people, hating us because we're black. So that's what they don't understand. And I think they do understand, they just don't care. So, I mean, that's, like I said, that's for a person to hate themselves like that, man. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. I can't even break it down, Red. How could you hate yourself, man? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I thought, I said, how could he have black followers? But then I thought about it. I said, I don't think these people are black Americans. I don't think these are black Americans, because how could you follow somebody like this? He never covers stories when white T men commit violent crimes. He never has anything to say. He got a problem with Carmelo's family receiving money. He got a problem with Nolan's family receiving money, but he said nothing about the white woman, Shiloh Hendricks. Last year, they raised $1 million for her, and all she did was call a black child the N-word. If that don't show how racist and hateful white people are, I don't know what will. The only reason we know her is because she called a child the N-word, and white people raised $1 million for her, and this coward had nothing to say about white T folks who gave her money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you talking about that white chick up there? And I think they was in Minnesota or something.
Yeah.
At the park. Yeah, she was messing with those Africans. Yeah,
He
see.
ain't saying nothing about that. Now, how
Yeah.
sick white people got to be to raise $1 million for her calling a black child an N-word? How racist and sick they got to be? We all know that they're racist and sick, because those are the only type of people that will raise money for that. This coward said nothing about it.
You know what I'm saying, Red? Just think about that. They gave her $1 million for that. I'm talking about she was trash anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just another, baby mama. Ain't no man nowhere. They gave her $1 million for that. Yeah, I mean, that tells you. So, I mean, I no disagreements, over here, Red. I understand exactly what you're saying, but some of our people, man, either they don't know or they don't want to know, or they act like they don't know and they really do know, and they just got some type of self-hatred. So, I mean, it's just hard to figure certain people out. But, I mean, you're doing your thing, though, man. That's a good show, bro. Like, for real. Because I'm kind of tired of talking about the race thing, but it's hard not to, because we affected by it every day. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, do business. Let me bring up Keith. Keith, you got it.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, my brother.
Yeah, I think maybe when you was talking about it, this kid from Florida, man, back in the day, Cunningham. So when I said the PayPal, I was talking about, I seen the Cash App. I just use PayPal a lot. That's what I meant. I wasn't about the link. I don't know if you misconstrued what I said, but yeah, he down here in Florida. He said he was, and I want to say, you notice he said he about to get up out of here. Man, they banging down here, Red. They banging down here with this immigration. It's cops all over the place. People getting yanked up all over the place. I know it's not making the news, but I just wanted to say that, he's Panamanian anyway. And his wife is Ghanaian. So they probably like, hey, we need to get up out of here. So what he's saying, yeah, you just got to read between the lines what he's saying. But that's what I meant when I said, I didn't see your PayPal. So it wasn't about the link. It was about the PayPal. All I seen was the Cash App. That's all I wanted to say, my brother. So if the mods could put the PayPal on the app, we can work from there. But hey, man, you wouldn't believe how it's working down here, bro. They getting people up out of here. I mean, I was in Pier Park earlier today, going to Longhorn, man. They had a bunch of them hemmed up. So he's doing typical tether backlash. That's all it is. But he on his own. He talked himself in a hole. You know what I'm saying? Running his mouth. So he better go back to in North Carolina and hope they don't come there, because he moved. He moved amongst a lot of white folks. They don't like him either. If you ever see some of his random videos, they coming down on him. But that being said, man, that's what I was putting in the chat. That was it. And I'll keep watching the show. Thank y'all.
Appreciate you, my brother, for pulling up, man.
Everything, fam. It's sick, bro. Like, it's crazy how much fake stuff is going on social media, bro. I cannot stand it, man. I can't, bro. because it's all selective outrage. It's like we're acting like we outrage, but we really don't care. Because here's the thing. Once the Nolan situation dry out, black folk ain't even gonna care about this no more, bro. They're gonna look for something new to rage bait you with, fam. They do this all the time, fam. It's crazy. Shout out to Master Ninja for the membership. Salute. It's absolutely sick, bro. I'm just tired of all this mess, bro. I'm tired of the fake love, the fake community, the fake outrage, everybody acting like they brother and sister when we really don't even care about each other, man. We just be out here being fake all day, bro. Just being fake. Acting like we got love for one another. We don't got no love for one another, fam. We really don't. We really don't, bro. We don't care. And look at this clown says that I have low self-esteem. Fuck you, bro. I have low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem if you watching me, dog. Think about this, clown. You here watching me live at this time in the morning. So obviously you don't got a motherfucking thing to do with your life. I'm on the road heading back home. So I'm out here just doing me. I'm just out here just doing a show real quick. If you watching me and you calling me a bunch of damn names, you're the damn clown because you watching me, for you watching me. So at the end of the day, you keeping my engagement up. So keep watching.
All right, so we're done with this, Sambo. We I think I've said enough about this. I need everybody to hit the like button if you haven't already. And the game is heavy. Well, trolls are watching me. I'm live right now. You got a bunch of people from his channel, people who are supporters of him, trolling me, making 50 different accounts to troll me. That's what's going on over here. Let me show you what Dingo TV won't talk about. Let's show you what Dingo won't talk about. Shout out to my people, man. Hold on.
Went to New York City, killed a black man, and hoped to kill more black people. 28-year-old Army veteran James Harris Jackson took a bus from his home in Maryland to New York City, where he stabbed a 66-year-old black man named Timothy Kaufman, who was collecting cans at the time. Jackson used a 26-inch miniature sword to repeatedly stab Kaufman in the chest and back as he was digging through trash at the corner of 9th Avenue and West 36th Street. A witness told police that they heard Kaufman yell, "What are you doing? Get off me." Kaufman then limped away while Jackson cleaned the blood off himself in a nearby restaurant bathroom. Kaufman ultimately died in the hospital. And 2 days later, Jackson turned himself into a police station in Times Square, telling the police that he was turning himself in so that he would not kill again. There's surveillance footage of Jackson stalking another black man without acting on the same day that he killed Kaufman. Imagine that for a second. And Jackson identifies as a white supremacist. He wrote a manifesto outlining his views on race and describing his plan to go to New York City. Neither the manifesto nor the details of the plan have been made public so far. But what we did hear from an NYPD assistant chief is that Jackson chose New York City because it is the media capital of the world. He has been charged with murder and terrorism. The terrorism charge is a key aspect of this story. When someone tries to make an example out of someone for a racist or xenophobic or political agenda sort of reason through murder or an act of violence, it can be a hate crime, but it also can be terrorism. And the police in this case are saying we are charging this individual with terrorism. But what's been most interesting and maybe absurd about the coverage of this story is that some outlets have been focusing on the victim's criminal history including just hours after the stabbing was announced. Here is a quote from the New York Daily News, which wrote, Kaufman, who lived in transitional housing, had been arrested 11 times for assault and marijuana possession in the past. His criminal background had been included in a number of stories, which also confirmed the murder to be a hate crime. What do you think about this? Because again, you could say, well, if there was a suggestion that his criminal background was connected to the crime in some way, maybe it would make sense to mention. But this is someone who's 28 years old. 15 years ago, when much of this guy's record dates to, the perpetrator would have been 13 years old. How on earth would the victim's criminal record be relevant to that? And by and large, we have a perpetrator who admitted, yeah, I went to New York City and was trying to kill black people. So what?
Will Ringo make videos about this? You know damn well Ringo ain't gonna make no videos about this. He's too much of a coward to hold white supremacists accountable when they commit violent crime. He's not going to say anything about this story, and this story took place in New York.
Someone who's 28 years old, 15 years ago, when much of this guy's record dates to, the perpetrator would have been 13 years old. How on earth would the victim's criminal record be relevant to that? And by and large, we have a perpetrator who admitted, yeah, I went to New York City and was trying to kill black people. So what is the relevance of the victim's criminal background?
Right. It's like you're prosecuting the victim rather than the perpetrator. And that's the exact same case that we made when it came to Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. Because, for example, Trayvon Martin, it came out that he had marijuana in his system, but that had no relevance whatsoever to his killing.
Yesterday at a press briefing, a week after the murder, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer refused to call this a hate crime. He said, oh, hate crimes and anti-Semitic crimes of any nature should be called out. And then he just said, hey, we shouldn't jump to conclusions about prejudice, even though, again, the perpetrator said, I was targeting people based on their race. I wanted to kill more black people. Another aspect that people are reacting to is that the perpetrator was an intelligence analyst for the Army. I don't think it's actually much of a story. You can be out of your mind, but still meet the qualifications for any number of military positions. That
Dingo ain't going to say nothing about this. He ain't going to say anything about this. Zero. Check this out right here. Check this out right here. Where is that? I don't know why this ain't. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why this ain't picking up. Hold on, y'all. This is the moment a man in a wheelchair is hit. Watch this right here. These are more white fatigue videos. Shout out to Cat 6 Cable Guy. Cat 6 Cable Guy is the one that sent me these white fatigue videos.
This is the moment a man in a wheelchair is hit by a Molotov cocktail, catching fire in Oklahoma City. Watch as he tries to escape the flames, but the attacker shoves him into the fire. The victim falls to the ground and back into the blaze before police and a bystander rush in to help. The disturbing attack caught on camera last week right across the street from Oklahoma City Police Headquarters. Investigators say 38-year-old Alexander James Emery is the man who threw this Molotov cocktail after allegedly telling the victim, "Don't talk to me." The video showing police detectives park in the middle of the street, appearing to approach with guns drawn as they help the victim and take Emery into custody. According to the July 2nd incident report, Emery had a second Molotov cocktail with him when he was detained, an officer smelling a very strong odor of gasoline. Emery also exclaiming a German phrase associated with Nazi ideology, according to the report. He now faces multiple felony charges, including...
See, Nazi ideology. You notice that all these white men that are committing these crimes are white supremacists. Ringo has nothing to say about this. The white community ain't marching and protesting about this. They have nothing to say, but they want to talk about black on black crime all damn day.
Detained. an officer smelling a very strong odor of gasoline. Emery also exclaiming a German phrase associated with Nazi ideology, according to the report. He now faces multiple felony charges, including arson and assault with intent to kill.
You talk about a coward. You talk about a coward. Nothing to say about these YT supremacists for committing these violent crimes. Nothing to say, huh? No, you ain't got nothing to say. I should have queued these videos up. My bad. My bad for not queuing them up.
A Thomasville man is in jail this morning after being arrested in a church parking lot. On Sunday, High Point police responded to Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church on Chestnut Street.
William Milliken III was arrested. Fox 8's Justin Lundy explains what police found inside his truck.
Usually when the cops are here, the lights aren't on, but this time there was cops lights on. And when I walked outside, I noticed there was 3-4 cop cars all with their lights on. So I knew something had to be going on.
Something was indeed happening Sunday morning, just a few feet away from Troy Lee Barber's home in the parking lot of Wesley Memorial Methodist Church on Chestnut Drive in High Point.
It probably went on for a good 30-40 minutes with all the police cars there. Church was still going on. They kept church moving. Like I said, they just moved all the parking to that side of the street.
High Point police say just after 10 a.m., officers responded to a call about an armed person sitting in a truck in the church parking lot. A nearby off-duty officer, with the help of a backup, disarmed a man who they later identified as William Milliken III. They say he was wearing body armor and had 2 flamethrowers inside his truck at the time of his arrest.
That's very surprising. I'm amazed, but you know, today's society that we're living in right now.
So this white T man was looking to burn down a church. Another white man that was looking to firebomb a church. Dingo TV ain't said nothing about it. Zero. He's a coward. This white man was sitting in a parking lot waiting to burn down a whole church, and none of these black conservatives have anything to say about it.
Disarmed a man who they later identified as William Milliken III. They say he was wearing body armor and had 2 flamethrowers inside his truck at the time of his arrest.
That's very surprising. I'm amazed, but you know, today's society that we're living in right now, and being a church, and the reason why they have police officers at every church function and other kinds of functions.
In addition to flamethrowers, investigators also found 2 crossbows, more than 500 rounds of ammunition, rolls of black duct tape, and 3 knives. He faces several charges, including possession of a weapon of mass destruction and impersonation of a law enforcement officer. Lee Barber says he's glad no one was hurt.
Last year we had a Volkswagen little van that caught on fire in the parking lot. So I thought maybe it was another thing like that, but no.
Seems like there's always a lot going on in the parking lot.
Always.
So yeah, nothing from Dingo. Zero. I got another one.
Words that investigators keep using, and that's pure evil. And it's because they saw what was inside this house.
These white T people held 16 children hostage, abusing them.
They're describing what they saw inside this rural home. 16 children in deplorable conditions, in dire need of medical treatment. And now 4 suspects are being charged with 16 counts each, all 4 pleading not guilty. The Ohio Attorney General gave us an update on the case just about an hour ago.
I've done these types of cases for a long time, and I've been in incredibly poverty-stricken areas in the inner city. I've been in poverty-stricken areas in rural Ohio, and I've just never seen anything like I saw today.
Joining me now is Alex Perche and our legal analyst, Brian Buckmeyer. And if you don't mind, guys, if we have the picture of the 4 suspects, because one of the most important things that investigators are trying to do right now is to get any information on these 4 people. This is the Siders family.
Now look at these white T people. Kidnapped and held 16 children hostage, abused them for a long period of time. And none of these black conservatives have made videos about this. No videos from Officer Tatum, no videos from none of these black conservatives. They pretty much ignored the whole situation like it never happened. Why? Because these are white T people committing These are white people committing sick crimes, so black conservatives have nothing to say.
You've got Elizabeth information on these 4 people. This is the Siders family. You've got Elizabeth Siders there with the long dark hair in the corner. Next to her is Gary Siders Sr. Then Christina Siders is the older woman at the top of your screen. And then the younger man is Gary Siders Jr. These are the 4 people that have been arrested. These are the 4 people that the AG and the prosecutor describe as pure evil. They're not going to get anywhere near those 16 children. That's what we're learning now, because they are in police custody, all of them being evaluated and checked out. And one of the most disturbing things that the sheriff said, he has seen his livestock treated better than these 16 children. They were found in a 12 by 12 space, surrounded by human feces. He said it was just disgusting. Both of whom, the sheriff and also the attorney general, said they've never seen anything like this in their life. Alex Prochet, the details are horrifying. One thing that did stand out to me, though, the sheriff saying the only joy that we're seeing in this is that we're going to change 16 lives for the better.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, that's the only place to kind of go from here if you're law enforcement. But as you mentioned, Kira, I mean, this is something that Ohio authorities have called unimaginable. We heard from the state attorney general, Andy Wilson, who said this looked like a third world country, that he can't get the smell out of his head. And as you mentioned, the sheriff there for Benton County said that he had seen livestock kept in better condition than the children inside of those houses, but 16 of them inside. They range in ages from 18 months to 18 years old. They were largely kept in that 12 by 12 area. And we're also told that this is an interfamilial situation. It's not a human trafficking case, according to law enforcement. But 7 of those children had to be taken to Columbus area hospitals. 2 of them were airlifted, and at least 1 child had to be intubated. Police say they actually stumbled upon this situation. They were executing a search warrant in a parallel investigation when they found this house with all those children inside. And as you mentioned, the 4 individuals, Gary Siders Sr., Gary Siders Jr., Christina Siders, and Elizabeth Siders, have all pleaded not guilty to the 16 counts against them. And now, Kira, those children are in the process of being placed. And the sheriff says timing was of the essence here, because had they waited another 24 hours, they would likely be dealing with a death.
So, Alex, let me ask you, you say they stumbled upon this while they were carrying out another search warrant. Were they carrying out a search warrant on this home? Was it tied to these family members?
So that search warrant was related to a parallel investigation, but Kira, that is it's a fascinating question. It's an important question, but right now authorities have been pretty kind of cagey about what actually tipped them off, what this parallel investigation entails, or why that particular house was highlighted by law enforcement. It's something that we still don't yet know. The other thing that I would say is for that community, it was actually a shock that children were even inside of that house. We've heard from neighbors, and even law enforcement repeated this afternoon, that a lot of folks didn't even know that the Siders had kids. That is how tightly they kept a grasp on these 16 children. Authorities saying that was also an indicator that they knew that they were doing something wrong here.
All right, so Brian, gosh, I mean, how do you even defend 4 people like this? I guess that's one question I have for you as a defense attorney, but also what charges do these 4 individuals face? I mean, I don't think anybody, if they, are, we have to say alleged crimes right now, but they were found in the home with these kids. They're behind bars. The AG, the prosecutor, they've seen the evidence. What's going to happen to these 4 people?
Yes, Akira. So a lot to unpack there, but I'll do it like this. They are charged with multiple counts. It was called child endangerment in the 2nd degree in the state of Ohio. That's punishable by 2 to 8 years in prison. And I don't imagine there will be a judge who's going to say, you know what, we'll run these charges concurrently, meaning at the same time. I could see a judge saying, for each and every one of those children, we're going to have some amount of prison time. So if you do the math, you're really looking at not 2 to 8 per charge. You're looking at 16 to 128 years in prison, depending on how the judge wants to stack these charges. When it comes to defending, we as defense attorneys, we compartmentalize. I understand how horrible these allegations are, not just as a defense attorney myself, but also as a father. But the way that we do it is everyone deserves their opportunity in court to make the argument. It depends on whose house this is. Who has mail going to the house? Were some of these people merely visiting and simply were there at the wrong place and the wrong time? What was their knowledge of what was going on in that home? And what I can imagine is the first person, and I say the first person because there probably will be a first person, the first person to speak to prosecutors and give up information and hope for a better deal is going to find himself in a much better place than the other three.
Let me ask you, Brian, real quickly, because you just mentioned something, and I can give you a bit of information, and that the home's ownership is listed to a trustee whose name is not among the 4 people that have been charged. This is information that our producers were able to get. It's reportable. Apparently, as of 2025, the total assessment valuation for the property was $68,670. You saw the condition of this home, but ownership listed to a trustee whose name is not among the 4 people charged. Apparently, they've been living in this home for 4 years.
Yeah, and so I think a big thing is going to be talking to the community, right?
All right, so listen, man, we're going to wrap this one up, man. I got so many cases that I can show you and so many stories to the point to where it's just downright ridiculous. And you say, well, damn, where's the outrage? Well, there is no outrage.
In Gonzalez, a registered sex offender already in jail for a separate case, faces additional charges related to having child and animal sexual abuse materials. Reports show 41-year-old Charles Crawford was booked on nearly 200 counts. Several images included kids younger than 13.
You see?
And so, Shane,
when I told you white T men lead in child pornography, they do. This is a prime example. Check this out.
Myself, I don't want to ever see anything like that. Even just random porn. I don't even want to look at none of that stuff anymore. I'm just through with it.
He doesn't even want to look at regular porn. That's what he says. A Hamilton County man will spend more than a decade in prison after investigators say they found thousands of child sex abuse videos and images on his devices. Jordan Valines has details of today's sentencing.
Robert Shepard appeared in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court this morning for his sentencing, where prosecutors argued that the material in the case was some of the most disturbing that they'd ever seen. So today in court, Judge Christian A. Jenkins ultimately sentenced Shepard to 10 to 11 years in prison. Investigators say this case all began in April of last year after a cyber tip was sent to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Prosecutors say that then that tip led investigators to Robert Shepard's phone number and eventually to his residence in Cleves. Court documents state that Shepard later admitted to detectives that he had child sexual abuse material on his cell phone. The sentencing memo says that forensic investigators recovered roughly 3,000 images and videos from one of Shepard's devices.
This was not an isolated incident. This was a course of conduct over a long period of time. Facts before the court indicate that between April 7th, 2025 and September 2025, 37 additional tips came through regarding the defendant's behavior. So this wasn't a one-off. The presence of 3,000 images on his devices.
So Shepard had previously pleaded guilty to 9 charges involving pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor. For now, reporting here in studio, Jordan Valines, Fox 9.
All right, that's it, man. We're going to wrap this one up, man. I think we done said everything that needs to be said. Of course, Dingo TV and none of these black conservatives will ever cover these stories because white men are the perpetrators of these crimes. So with that being said, they're not going to talk about it because they're cowards. I think I got another one for y'all, man. Hey, man, they're going to keep coming. When white T people commit crime, they have nothing to say. Zero. Crickets. Is crickets.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Liz.
A viral confrontation inside a West Boca gated community involving a teenager on an e-bike has now escalated into a felony case.
CBS 12 News first told. CBS 12 News first told you when a man was accused of confronting a 13-year-old boy inside the Lotus community.
Well, now, after weeks of questions about whether more serious charges would be filed, he's been booked into the Palm Beach County lockup.
CBS 12 News reporter Katie Benty joins us live tonight with what changed. Katie?
Jim and Liz, this confrontation between a man and a kid on an e-bike has gotten so out of control it actually ended right here at the Palm Beach County Jail. Now, we have been covering this story since the very beginning, since the man at the center of this viral video was first given a notice to appear for a misdemeanor charge. Then we saw more misdemeanor charges getting added on. And fast forward to right now, he's been booked for a felony robbery charge.
Give me my phone! Go ahead. Give me my phone! Dude, get your hands off of him.
The video that spread across South Florida, a 13-year-old surrounded by adults inside the gated Lotus community in West Boca Raton. Now, 62-year-old Mitchell Schumann has been booked into the Palm Beach County Jail after prosecutors upgraded the case to felony robbery. CBS 12 News first noticed signs last week this case was moving out of misdemeanor court, but at the time, prosecutors wouldn't say why. Now we know. Court records accuse Schumann of taking the teen's phone while the boy was aware it was happening.
Give me my phone!
And under Florida law, that moment matters.
So the boy here was clearly aware, and the act was sudden. So that's
right. Now watch this. This is another sex crime right here. This is another sex crime committed by a white tea individual. But of course, black conservatives won't say anything. Check this out.
New Hampshire Supreme Court overturned Adam Montgomery's murder conviction. 2 years ago, Montgomery was sentenced to 45 years to life for the murder of his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony. But as WBZ's Christina Rex shows us, the court says he did not get a fair trial.
Can you tell me that she's alive?
Adam Montgomery's murder conviction overturned by New Hampshire's highest court.
I swear on my life.
The 35-year-old was convicted in 2024 of murdering his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony, by allegedly beating her to death in 2019 and later disposing of her body. Harmony wasn't reported missing for more than 2 years, and her body has never been found, despite numerous searches from police and the public.
Devastated, of course.
Retired Massachusetts Judge Carol Erskine oversaw the adoption of Harmony's brother, Jameson, and she's been an advocate for reform ever since.
People have to understand the court didn't come out and say, hey, he's innocent, or they didn't meet the beyond a reasonable doubt standard. The court didn't say that.
Montgomery's murder conviction was overturned because the court said he was prejudiced when the trial judge allowed strong evidence of a July 2019 beating of Harmony and weaker evidence of a December 2019 alleged murder to be presented in the same trial. The decision reads, "We therefore conclude that this disparity created a significant risk that the jury would rely on the strength of the evidence that the defendant struck the victim in anger in July to conclude that he similarly and fatally struck the victim in December."
It's very hard, I think, for a jury to separate something like that, like this vicious assault that took place in July.
Prosecutors plan to retry the murder case on its own. It will likely focus on the testimony of Kayla Montgomery, Adam's estranged wife, who allegedly saw the murder happen. And it'll be hard for Harmony's family to relive.
This just opens up wounds for the family that, are just difficult to manage.
And a question a lot of people have tonight, Adam Montgomery will not get out of jail right now. He's doing a more than 40-year sentence for a number of other crimes he was convicted of. Now, the adoptive parents of Harmony Montgomery's brother did release a statement to WBZ saying they're disgusted by this decision. They said they'd hoped their son would not have to see or hear about the nightmare that his sister lived, but now he'll be old enough to understand this second trial. Lisa?
And it is such painful information. Christina, thank you.
I got another one, and they just keep coming. Now you say to yourself, Dingo has nothing to say about this. None of these black conservatives will ever talk about these sick crimes that white men commit. Listen to this.
Outrage and a last-minute twist. A convicted serial child molester was rearrested after technically being freed after being granted parole by the California Parole Board. 64-year-old David Allen Funston was taken into custody by Placer County authorities on new charges stemming from a 1996 felony case in Roseville. That what you just saw there was his latest mugshot.
Funston had been granted parole under the state's elderly parole program, despite being sentenced to more than 3 life sentences. I spoke to the former Sacramento County Deputy DA who successfully prosecuted Funston in the late 1990s.
Obviously, I'm relieved is probably the best way to say it, because, you know, the bottom line is he was released from prison. So the fact that the Placer County DA stepped up and did the work in a very, very quick turnaround speaks volumes about his commitment to public safety.
So he was officially granted parole. He was officially released, but literally upon his release, Placer County officials were waiting to take him into custody on these new charges that do date back to the mid-1990s.
Yes, that's my understanding of exactly what happened. He was never actually out of any.
This white dude is a serial child molester. And I got more stories. Listen, I haven't showed you guys half of the stories. Listen, this ain't even a half of it, bro.
Law enforcement's custody.
Funston is now being held on a felony charge of lewd and lascivious act on a child under 14 years old. Now being held on a felony charge of lewd and lascivious act on a child under 14 years old. He is due in court next week.
Oh, we just saw that and we caught it. Oh, no!
Shocking crash in North Hill.
Oh, wow. That was sick right there.
An extremely disturbing situation out of Florida. Viewer discretion advised here, as a man known for playing Santa Claus at Christmas events in Polk County, Florida, is one of nearly 20 people arrested during an undercover operation focusing on accused child predators. We're joined now by Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County, Florida. And Sheriff, thank you so much for—
Now, this dude right here dresses up as Santa Claus and he sexually violates children. Now, all these stories about black on black crime, none of these black conservative cowards ever cover these stories. Now, imagine your child. You take them to see Santa Claus. This white man is a known sexual predator that preys on children. The Santa Claus impersonator.
An extremely disturbing situation out of Florida. Viewer discretion advised here, as a man known for playing Santa Claus at Christmas events in Polk County, Florida, is one of nearly 20 people arrested during an undercover operation focusing on accused child predators. We're joined now by Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County, Florida. And Sheriff, thank you so much for being here. I mentioned this, but an incredibly disturbing situation.
Josh, it's my pleasure to be with you today and to share with you how horrible this is. This guy was a preacher, that's right, a pastor, and of at least 40 years. He also was a communications and marketing director for Tri-County, which is a mental health, drug, and alcohol abuse organization, very well respected. They immediately fired him. And everyone, Lakeland metro area is probably 300,000 or 400,000 people. Everybody knew this guy as Santa Claus. He was in the huge Lakeland Christmas parade every year as Santa Claus. People hired him. In fact, when we were doing the undercover operation, one person that was there said, "Oh my gosh, I've already booked him to be Santa Claus at a Christmas party." Another detective showed me a picture of his children sitting on Santa Claus's lap with my detective and his wife standing behind. So that's how popular he was. And he came to this undercover location thinking he was chatting with a 13-year-old father, and the father was selling the daughter. And he said, "Are you going to be in the room while I have sex with the little girl?" And he used the name we used. And the father said, "No, I hadn't planned to." He said, "Well, you don't need to. I'm 68 years old and I'm going to be very gentle with her." Isn't that frightening?
That is absolutely terrifying. And we've aired a lot of different news conferences that you've held. We've aired those here on Live Now from Fox. You've seen some very disturbing situations that have taken place. And of course, you've provided updates on them. But as the sheriff there, someone who knows this guy, what goes through your mind when you hear those incredibly disturbing allegations?
Well, first and foremost, he is so recognized in the community and a reputable person. In fact, he was at a Rotary meeting and had his picture with me 2 weeks ago. We all thought he was a stand-up guy, and he dressed and looked absolutely like the real Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? So we were all shocked in this community. We were glad to arrest him because we didn't know what his dirty little secret was. And now we're looking to see if there may have been victims, live victims. We saved what ostensibly would have been a 13-year-old child from sexual battery by Santa Claus by arresting this deviant.
What is your message to maybe people in the community right now if they do have any information about this? Obviously, as you mentioned, this man is well known for playing Santa. They maybe have some information that you all need. What would you say to them? What is your message to them?
Sure. The message that we've put out throughout our social media and the community is come forward, call us, let us screen your child and see if your child's been a victim before. He has had tens of thousands of children set on his lap over his career as Santa Claus. And we know that there very well may be a victim, a child that was in need of attention that he was able to get to. He was bold about this when he was talking to the child's father, thinking that he had set up a deal to have sex with a 13-year-old little girl. I want to make this abundantly clear. We loaded his sleigh with a lot of serious criminal charges. Upon conviction, he will never have access to another child because he'll be locked up in Florida prison for the rest of his life.
And Sheriff, I want to go in reverse a little bit because this is actually part of a larger operation that was conducted, I believe you said, over the course of just a week or so. Can you explain the operation in general and what else you were able to find?
Absolutely. We arrested 19 child sex predators in this piece of the operation. We called it Poke Around and Find Out. And this was child predator sting number 8. You see, we have a team that's dedicated to nothing but searching out child predators and child pornographers and going after them with a vengeance to bring them to justice. But there was another piece of the operation, and I'm doing a big press conference at 10 o'clock this morning. And that piece of it was a human trafficking operation where we arrested 247. So altogether in a 6-day operation, we arrested 266 people. We rescued victims of human trafficking. We charged people. One guy showed up with a half a kilo of methamphetamine. And we arrested all of these really, really bad actors. And you're going to be surprised at this press conference, some of the information that I released.
Will any of these black conservatives talk about this? Will Ringo talk about this Santa Claus molesting children? Will Officer Tatum talk about this? Will Anton Daniels talk about this? Will any one of these black conservatives cover this story? Can I get some feedback? I think we already know the answer, so I'm asking a question that we already have answers. We already had the answer. We know they're not going to talk about this. They're cowards.
Today.
And we're going to take that live here on air with the help of our Fox 13 Tampa team for sure. And Sheriff, my last question for you here before I let you go, going back to what I asked you about your message to the community with people who maybe have information. What is your message to the community overall, to people who are concerned as they're seeing all of this information here develop?
Well, if you hear something or see something, say something. We have a special victims team that will come out and work with you and determine whether or not your child has been a victim of this child sex predator Santa Claus or of any of the other sexual predators or any other sexual predators that may have attacked your child. You see, we have to be vigilant every day because now social media has given unfettered access to your children. That's something that years ago didn't happen. They had to hang out at ballparks or city parks, and it was very difficult for this kind of person to get to your child. Not so anymore. So you have to pay attention to all of your child's online activity. If you don't, the child sex predator, the pedophile, is walking boldly into your home and grooming your child while you sit in the next room.
Sheriff Grady Judd over in Polk County, Florida. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here. Anything that you want to mention, anything we missed here before I let you go?
No, Josh, I think you pretty well covered it. The most important thing, the first line of defense to keep your children away from child predators is for parents to pay attention at home and to monitor the child's social media devices. In fact, you really need to mirror it on your device so you know exactly what they're doing and who they're talking with. That has to be guarded and policed by you first.
Great advice there. Sheriff Grady Judd, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We definitely appreciate it.
Talk to you soon, Josh.